Ну, можете
Ага.
представиться. Ага.
Мы подождем или только вот с этими участниками начнем, а кто присоединяться будет, они присоединятся потом.
Мгм. Так, мы можем, в принципе, до 15 подождать, потому что у вас же тоже... А, уже 15, да? Время ограничено. Так. В принципе, давайте, наверное, будем начинать. Студенты будут
Так
подключаться.
как хотите, чтобы только про университет?
Так,
Да,
ну,
просто у меня две презентации.
Мгм. Получается, сперва вот именно brief presentation, да, то есть вот, ну, коротко о вашем университете, может быть, и какие-то обновленные, да, есть аспекты, которые мы еще не могли предоставить студентам. Потом в дальнейшем, вот в дальнейшем уже, как бы, если будут вопросы относительно дуальной программы, специфичные, уже студенты сами будут задавать. Мгм.
Мгм.
Да, да, правильно.
Vladimir, can you understand Russian or English is more preferable for you?
Yeah, English is more preferable for me.
Well, what's your ethnicity or where are you coming from?
Well, I don't speak Russian very well because I lived in the US.
Oh, that's great. Then I'm actually not representative. I'm a head of international relations office of whole university, which SolBridge also the part of that university. So that's a clear answer to your question, or okay. Anyways, Дильназ, вы тоже можете понимать по-английски, правильно?
Да, я понимаю по-английски. По-русски тоже.
Тогда вообще замечательно. Then we can continue in English. So my name is Iskandar. So I had my second master and PhD in Korea and was invited to teach at the university since 2007. And 2008, SolBridge was established, International School of Business. Actually, uniqueness of this business school is that we are one of the pioneers which offer all the courses in English 100%. Like most of the Korean universities, they have English tracks, but not all courses are offered in English. So this is what I really liked at SolBridge. Very international environment and a lot of international professors, and mostly focused to attract international students. So I accept the offer, and since 2008, I work at SolBridge. Now I'm actually representing the whole university because SolBridge considered to be a very successful project. And after success of SolBridge, we actually offer English taught tracks in our different specializations as well. So that's why today I'd like to explain about whole university, and if you have questions, we can talk about it. So if you know the information about Korea, I really would like to focus on the university, or otherwise I have a second presentation which also describes a little bit about Korea, what the country and how it reached the result they have now. So you choose. Let's vote. Faster only university or some information about Korea as well?
I think that we can do research about Korea in our own time. Basically, I'm interested in learning about the university in terms of the program they offer and the proportion in terms of years you study in KASGU and then study there, basically.
Great. Okay. Then this like very small presentation. Thank you very much, Vladimir, about your feedback. And Amina, could you please let me share my screen?
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. Let me... a minute.
Okay, now I can do it. So you can see the screen well, I hope. So about Korea, I think you all know from the products you use at home, I think there is no household left that doesn't have any Korean products at home, right? So and actually Korea became more globalized since 2002 after World Cup, and since then they opened their doors to whole the world and invited a lot of people here, not only students but professional workers as well, and sport people, and so on. So this is a very short information. More than 50 million population for around 100,000 square kilometers territory, the land of South Korea, which is very small, and 65% of this land consists from mountains and hills, and the people are living on maybe 35%. And as you know, the main agricultural field, it's rice, growing rice in Korea. So most of the steppe and lands they use for rice, and GDP per capita is over $30,000 USD at the moment. Actually, when Korea just started its development, the GDP per capita was $60, around $60. So it's one of the fastest growing economies from 60s to 90s, around average more than 9% a year. And therefore it called a miracle on the river of Han, because the Han is a river which biggest river in Korea. So at the moment, Korea is the largest, fifth largest exporter, and 12th biggest economy, having no resources at all in the country, no oil, no gas, no any other resources. They actually able to be fifth largest exporter, only producing the goods and services as well. And by Pearson, pre-university education, best Korean pre-university education means school education is best in the world for maybe past 5 years already. Before, Finland was leading, and now Korea is the best. And of course, the #1 country in the Global Innovation Index and Digital Opportunity Index. So our business school located in Daejeon City with 1.5 million population. So Daejeon is maybe less than 2 hours by car and 55 minutes by bullet train from Seoul, the capital of Korea. And as Daejeon is in the middle of Korea, by high-speed train, you can reach all the corners of Korea less than in 2 hours from our city. And it called Silicon Valley because all research and development institutions mostly are located in this city, maybe 60 different institutions. And for 1.5 million population, we have slightly more than 7,000 PhD holders. Maybe it doesn't give you any, I would say, comparison, but if I tell you that Mexico with 130 million population has a 6,500 PhD holders for the whole country, now you can compare. It's very academic city, and with very nice infrastructure, is fifth largest city in Korea, but the location wise is like best to live because all the transports passing the our city, and it's called transportation hub of Korea as well. So if you talk about our university is not very well visible in the world ranking or career ranking because we focus on mostly practical skills. So as you know, the big ratio of the international rankings comes from the publications and research, but our university focus mostly on practical skills. And therefore, we are the best 10 youth dream universities in Korea for our one of the highest employment rates of our graduates. And we have 6 different schools, or 6 different study departments. We prefer the specialists for the job market. And as we talk about our business school is AACSB accredited. If you ask Uncle Google, so he can explain you what kind of prestigious accreditation it is. And for 100, maybe 3 years of existing of this accreditation, around 800 universities only receive this, and it's very hard to get and very prestigious in business field. So thanks to this accreditation, we are able to establish a really good relationship with the top schools in the world or top universities in the world. And actually, this is also the mark of the quality of education. So a lot of awards we have from the ministry, and one of the our key points also that most of our faculty professors are foreigners with PhD with at least PhD. But sometimes we have our professors without PhD, but those professors who don't have a PhD, they have to have at least 10 years managing experience in the leading companies, so they can teach practical skills to our students. So thus, if they're a very good business person, we can also invite to let him to share his experience with our students. And it's the picture of whole the university, more than 13,000 students at the university, and more than 200 international partnerships, including Kazgyu, your university, and representatives of 64 nationalities studying here. And the one of the also highest ratio of foreign professors represented on campus. This is about our university. And these are the bachelor program, but what you are interested in, I think it's the last line, which is in our offered in the business school. So nowadays we offer these 6 specializations like marketing, finance, management and entrepreneurship, technology and innovation, and data analytics. So it's 5 specializations, because we merged management and entrepreneurship as one specialization. So these are what you will be interested in. In case you have other specializations or programs you are interested, so you can also apply for these programs. And these are the cost of the programs. And last SolBridge is slightly expensive than other programs because of the quality of the professors we invite and extracurricular activities we offer to students during their study period. And living expenses, dormitory is $1,500 USD per year, and it's average $300 a month would be expenses. It's average. You can spend a little bit less if you cook by yourself, or a little bit more if you prefer maybe primary dining out or any other, like traveling and so on. So but average we have $300-400 a month expenses here. And we have scholarships offered from 30 to 100% based on the programs, and the scholarships are also offered for dual degree students or transfer students. And the amount of scholarship based on the academic performance, your GPA at your school, at your university you are currently studying, and English proficiency. Higher English score you have, we can accept IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, even Duolingo. Because of pandemic, we actually becoming more flexible. And scholarships are awarded for 1 semester period of time only, and after 1 semester, they can be maintained based on the academic performance here at SolBridge. So maximum GPA we have is 4.5. This is the maximum grade students can get in the class. So if your CGPA is 3.6 or above, you can keep or increase your scholarship based on your performance. If that GPA is lower than 3.6, then you may lose your scholarship and you have to pay full amount for the next semester. And of course, the same semester, you will have an opportunity to get it back based on your academic performance. Thus, we are really encouraging our students to study hard and try to compete for the scholarships. And to better understanding, we have maybe 42% of our students studying in some kind of scholarship, like from 30 to 100%. So it's very interesting thing we have. So some students, they really take advantage of it. So if your GPA is a maximum, you're getting like 5-6 courses, minimum 5 courses in order to be eligible for scholarship. So if your GPA is 4.5 out of 4.5, the system will automatically award you with 100% scholarship. But in order to maintain that 100% scholarship, it will be enough to get 3.6 GPA out of 4.5 and keep that scholarship till the end of your studies. So this kind of very good incentives we have for the students. But of course, the competition is very tough and it's not very easy. I was showing our master programs, which is not big interest for you. And the partners worldwide, 2+2, 3+1, it's also not very interested for you. So another uniqueness at our university, we invite a lot of high caliber speakers for platinum lectures from ministers or former big government officials or ambassadors and so on, and mostly CEOs from different leading companies. They could share their experience with our students. And also we offer Korean language within our program. So from the beginning level, students who cannot speak Korean at all, for 2 years as a transfer students, it will be enough for you to learn Korean in the very upper intermediate level and get a job. And also a lot of extracurricular activities like different clubs, competitions, or different sightseeings and visits, excursions we organize for our students. And student life is very, very, very interesting here, as you see from some photos. So these are the information, like for just sharing with you that Samsung is leading phone seller, and for home appliances, Samsung, LG is sharing the leading places in the world, and not only automobile, but in the shipbuilding, Korea is #1 country in the world, and they always compete with China at these days. And Hyundai Heavy Industries, one of the world's leading shipbuilding company. As we said, although Korea doesn't have any natural resources, by importing the iron core, they are able to produce the 5th largest steel in the world. And also in even Kazakhstan, you can see the popularity of Korean cars increasing every year. So because quality we can get for the money we pay, it's really competitive. These are the companies we send our students for internships or suggest or recommend them to work. Of course, because of the reputation of the school, we pick up the best students to recommend, and based sometimes on the demand of our partners. And we have a special department which called CDC, Career Development Center, which actually works closely with those companies to create more places for our students. Besides, we have job fairs organized in our, this is a SolBridge second floor student area, student rest area. So we invite around 20 companies. Actually, it was before pandemic. During pandemic, it became very limited possibilities. So around 20 companies, they visit us and they speak to the students who are about to graduate. And if they are satisfied with their performances and knowledge, of course, easily to get a job. Because Korea strongly depend on expert and on global expert, the economy itself. So they really need the specialists who speaks different languages, including Korean, and also understand different regions in order to have a successful relationship between in the trade and businesses. So that's why there is big demand for international graduates in Korea who studied in Korea and speak some Korean languages. So that's why when you choose to come to Korea, it's of course you will not have any difficulties to study because everything in English, everyone can speak English within our university and schools, but it's really recommended to learn Korean language if you'd like to stay in Korea for some professional experience, because after graduation of the program, for example, when you come to Korea, you're coming under the student visa D2. And when you get your degree, you can get the D10 visa up to 2 years. It's a job seeking visa. And then if you can find a job during that time, most of our students, they of course find a job. You can get the working visa, which is e-visa. And if you would like to stay for longer term in Korea, and you can apply for F2 visa, which is like from 2 to 5 years long resident within Korea, and then you can go further. Otherwise, with small experience, you can go back to your country and continue your career in your country. So spring semester, it's not for you. For fall semester, we accept application till June 30. I think June 30, it's a really good deadline when you can have already all the documents ready, including your transcripts for 2 years at your university. So this was a very short information about our school, and it's better to answer your questions and have a more close conversation.
May I ask a quick question?
Please.
I'd prefer to, spend more time in Kazakhstan, for example, 3 years. Is it possible to complete my last year in SolBridge?
Yeah, we would love to have this opportunity like European universities, because in our presentation, you saw that we have a 3+1, but Korean regulations set by the government and Ministry of Education said the students can be awarded by degree only when they take 50% of the classes. So 50% of the courses you need to cover here in order to get the Korean degree. So that's why it's like 2+2.
Understandable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Please.
Okay, thank you, first of all, for your presentation. And I just wanted to ask, can I, for example, transfer my documents for the SolBridge University if I'm studying at the current moment first course?
Yeah, of course, you can transfer your studies to SolBridge. However, it will be only one degree you will getting from SolBridge. According to the agreement with your university, it's like 2+2. 2+2 meaning we articulated the courses and we agreed that our university can accept the courses you studied during the first 2 years at your home university. And thus, you will be able to get the 2 degrees during the same period of time, 4 years. So that was an opportunity. Otherwise, after first year, you will be allowed to transfer without problem.
Let me clarify it, please. I need to study in Kazakhstan 2 years and then transfer to the SolBridge to get 2 degrees.
Exactly. This is a different opportunity. So what actually was created by your administration and like negotiating with our university.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Actually, you can transfer to any university after first year, after 2 years, if your university is has a license, if accredited by government, is no problem worldwide. It's not only Korea or America or anywhere. The thing is 2+2, and 2 universities agreed that during the same period of time you get like 2 experiences and 2 degrees. I think this is a really good opportunity. The others, if you would like to ask a question in Russian, please do not hesitate. I'm ready to answer to any of your questions.
So,
So
yes,
we have
students.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, like, don't be shy. You're welcome to ask any questions,
Right.
even the stupid ones.
There is no stupid question, actually.
Yeah, that's yeah. Even though it may sound stupid in your head, it's not stupid.
I agree completely. We have nowadays, I think currently we have more than 30 students from Kazakhstan studying at SolBridge. Before it was more than 70, but I think like for a couple of years, number decreased, especially after pandemic, it's dropped a lot. And all of our graduates who went back to Kazakhstan, so they are really successfully employed and working in the different companies. And I visit Kazakhstan quite often and had some meetings and was happy to see how they're successful. And we have some students from Kazakhstan staying in Korea, working here. I think if you've never been in Korea, you will be very surprised that this is one of the safest countries in the world with a really good infrastructure, especially transport infrastructure. So you will be surprised. Because of my work, I visited many, more than 50 countries in the world, almost all continents. And every time I visit new country, I always surprised, like how Korea were able to develop its infrastructure. And sometimes it's a reason it's a very small country with a very dense population. So that's why they're able to develop the infrastructure. For example, if you have a rural area or village with 100 people, maybe 50 kilometers from the city, it's actually useless to have a high-speed train to that village, right? Because you cannot get your investment back. So that's why the big countries sometimes they suffer with less population. They suffer with to develop infrastructure. But in the highly dense countries like Korea, Singapore, Japan, China, the infrastructure is getting better because investors they can easily invest to the different projects because more people can benefit and use it and accordingly paid for that services. So Korea, one of them.
May I ask a quick question about the proportion of students at the university? Is it like 50-50 in terms of foreigners and Korean students, for example?
Our university, out of 204 universities in Korea, our university number 8 for the foreign student number. But SolBridge, it's number 1 because SolBridge Business School has 75% of students are international. So it's not even 50-50, 75% international. Actually, initially when we established SolBridge in 2007 and first batch of students we brought 2008, actually the purpose was to invite only international students, no Koreans. But the first students start complaining, oh, we are in Korea, we would like to have interaction with Korean and local students as well. So then we have actually opened the admission for Korean students, but it has a quota. It's limited number. So that's why not many Korean students can enter. We have only 80 students per year, Korean students per year, quota to SolBridge.
So it's a university which is orientated towards foreign students within Korea. Basically.
Yeah, actually SolBridge is mostly like this, but it's a Korean university.
So the sorry,
Yes.
but the area around the university, they're not, for example, xenophobic in any way. They're used to foreigners, walking around the town, the city.
I mean, like Korea, exactly like Kazakhstan, when you walk around as a foreigner, not many people can speak English. But at the same time, it's a good opportunity for you to learn local language because you have to interact with them. But we have many students studying here, and they always enjoy because the difficulty with English, you don't face a difficulty with English because all the signs on the transport everywhere are also local language and English. Sometimes it's also Chinese. So 3-4 languages based on the tourists or higher population, international population. So don't worry about it. There will be no problems with like, I don't know what was the purpose you're asking, the eating out or using transportation, or, but there is no problem about it.
So I'd like to clarify, an option for 3+1 wouldn't be available
For
within the
Korea,
next.
it's not available. Yeah, it's only 2+2. And it's not because we want it, it's a regulation. If you coming here to get a degree, you need to at least take 50% of the courses. Otherwise, you're welcome to come for 1 or 2 semesters as an exchange of visiting students. There's also no problem. Then you will have only transcript and certificate, but not a degree. So Dino Muhammad is asking question about life in Korea. I'm a Muslim, and will it be difficult for me to attach to Islam, for example, halal food and prayer? Is there any problem with such? We have 2 mosques in our city, and the number of Muslim population is increasing in Korea, thanks to migrants and students and other diplomatic missions. And there are a lot of online shops in Russian or English with halal food, so you can buy and cook. Or there are a lot of restaurants opened by our students or Central Asian students which offer also halal food. Otherwise, Korean food also you can eat with without meat, some foods, and some restaurants, even Korean restaurants, they now turn into offering halal food, where the more international students or more international population. So I'm a Muslim too, so living in Korea for more than 10 years, and that's why I never experienced the problem. So in the big shopping malls or department stores or supermarkets, you can also buy the Australian meat, which is also halal, or order from the internet, and delivery is within 1 or 2 days of any product. So that's okay here. I heard Astana is getting warmer these days. It's almost summer there, right?
Well, yeah, actually it is. It is quite hot
I have
here.
visited your campus, this big yellow building, and Very nice, beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Thank you.
May I ask about the weather actually in the universities region? Does it get?
Korea, yeah, very small country, so that's why it's not big difference. But of course, southern part is maybe a couple of degrees warmer. It's weather reminds me Almaty weather. If you've been in Almaty or if you know the weather in Almaty, it's like it has a 4 seasons, very similar temperature, but the only difference, summer is a bit more humid in Korea because surrounded by sea.
There's a question in chat about a different degree.
Okay, sorry, I missed it. If I have a different specialty, can I apply for this university, or my specialty is international relations? Actually, it depends. It depends on articulation with your university. For transferring to any programs at our school, from international relations to business or marketing, whatever specialization you choose, it's possible, but it will limit your elective courses. It means we have a core courses which students have to finish in order to get a degree. So, and we will try our best to articulate, or it means transfer as many courses from your previous 2 years as possible. But still, if your specialization a little bit different, then it will be like less courses transferable. So those courses which are not transferable, we can transfer as electives, not the course, and thus you need to study more core courses at SolBridge and then get a degree. Technically, it's very, very possible. But in that case, you can get only our degree because you started with international relations and you have to fulfill all the subjects at your home university as well to get their degree. This kind of difficulties you may face. Otherwise, it's no problem. Oh, it's very impressive. Everyone very fluent in English, even better than me.
Yeah, those are our students.
Yeah. Amina, where you studied? I mean, where did you learn your English?
Well, actually, like at the present moment, I'm a Nazarbayev University student, and also I'm working here. So, in kind of my life is like my life calls for the English proficiency.
Oh, good. Because your pronunciation is really, really clear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah. Students, don't be shy.
Sorry, but this is an irrelevant comment about Nazarbayev University. So I applied there, but they never, responded. But then I applied to KazGU, and then KazGU, they were actually very eager to accept me into. So it's like completely, I have different perceptions about it.
Oh yeah, I see. Well, Nazarbayev University the application process can be very difficult, if I can say so.
Oh, I would say just one reason. One is a private university and other is public. So.
Yeah, probably. And,
So,
oh yeah,
please go.
so I just wanted to clarify, Vladimir, what school did you apply to? Maybe it's because of the school and its internal regulations.
Management. I'm doing the management program.
Management. I believe we don't have a management.
Nazarbayev University doesn't have a management. They have only executive MBA program, which is business. The rest are the science.
Yeah. Well,
It was great pleasure, guys.
Yeah.
And wish you all the good luck. And should you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or Amina. We will do our best to fulfill all your needs and questions.
And thank you, Skandar, once again for presenting such a wonderful presentation and providing us with the insightful details. And I believe that there'll be lots of students who are eager to apply to your university. So, well, yeah, thank you once again.
Bye.
And
thank you for organizing and accommodating all of our requests.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was a great pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.